Hello, YouTube. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about me, the challenges I've been going through, and maybe some of y'all can relate. So, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I hope that I can be an inspiration to you ladies. And I just want to put myself out there so that I can be an inspiration to someone, or maybe, I can get some advice, give some advice. I'm not just a teacher, but I'm also a student. So without further ado, let's get into it. So November, I turned 40 years old, and I didn't feel myself. I felt different. I was overweight. Um, I hadn't had a cycle since my cycle was irregular. There were so many things that was going on with me physically that I went to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed that I was pre-diabetic, perimenopausal, overweight. Um, there were so many diagnoses, but I didn't want to live in that place. So I had to make some changes. I had to make some changes. Um, and so, like I said, in November, I turned 40. We are currently in April. And through those changes, my cycle has come back. I've lost some weight, and I'm pretty confident that my blood sugar is no longer in the pre-diabetic range. So, the changes that I made, there are five changes that I would say was beneficial to my my skin changing, my cycle coming back, me losing weight. There were five things that was beneficial to that process. The first thing was, and still is cutting out sugar. Well, no. That is not the first thing. That's not the first thing. The first thing was listening to God about my body. That was the first thing. If I'm being honest, prior to these diagnoses, God was working with me, trying to work with me to make lifestyle changes. I was very stubborn. I knew that he was beckoning me to change the way I eat, to be more physically active, to take certain vitamins. Um, I knew it. I knew in my spirit that these are the things that he wanted me to do, and I did not do them. And 2 years later, I suffered the consequences greatly. So, remembering the things that he wanted me to do, which was become more physically active, take vitamins, eat differently, not with all the well, I never drank soda, but I love juice. I must be honest, I love juice. Stop drinking all the juice, eating the pasta, the rice, the potatoes, all of those things that was essentially hurting my body, because I woke up in pain. I guess due to inflammation, I woke up feeling pain every day. But I was so out of control that I could not give those things up. And what should have been a beautiful aging process for me wound up turning into, you know, bad diagnosis after diagnosis after diagnosis. So, like I said, the first thing that I did was listen to God about my body, because after all, He created me and He knows perfectly what I need and what I don't need. So, the second thing that I did was I actually did what He told me to do, right? So I changed my eating habits. I have not had juice, sweets in a while. Now, I'm not going to say that this has not been a journey. It wasn't something that I did cold turkey, right? It has been a journey for me. So I did stop, gradually. Like, me not eating those things came gradual. It wasn't cold turkey. But I'm proud to say that I am not on the Wonder anymore, the Wonder Bread. I'm not eating the home fries every morning, and the pancakes and all of those other things that I used to love and just pig out on, because I used to like sometimes eat myself sick. The third thing that I did was take supplements. So the doctor, naturally, when you're not getting a period, they naturally want to put you on birth control to reset your hormones. But I was always against it. I was always against taking birth control. So, I took supplements. I took vitamin D because my blood work showed that I was low in vitamin D, magnesium, a B complex vitamin, and I'm proud to say that for 2 months, my period has come. Now let's go back. November, I turned 40. So October was the last time that I had a period. So that's November, December, January, February. For 5 months, I didn't get a period. Once I started taking the vitamins, my period came back. So March and April, I got a period. And a lot of women, they say, oh, you're so lucky, you don't get a period anymore, but I'm going to be honest with you. I want a period, right? Because I want more children. And going into perimenopause so young, at 40, that really messes with your brain, the way your brain functions, the way your your cognitive the way, what am I trying to say? Basically, there's a mental decline with going into premenopause, and I did not want that for myself, right? I started to notice it too. Like, I was starting to feel more foggier. I didn't understand things that I felt like once upon a time I was so sharp, and I really started to feel dull mentally. So, yes, I do. And let's not just to be totally transparent, I do want more children. So, yes, I did want a period. So, am I up to number 3? Okay. Now, number 4. The fourth thing that I did. And I know we hear this all the time, But it is truly, truly, truly something that I did. And that is drinking more water. I drink more water. Um, I woke up one day and you just go through the routine. You go through the ebbs and flows of getting up, getting ready for work. Um, and everything is so routine that you never really stop. At least I didn't really stop to take a look at myself. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. My skin was horrible. Um, so that was something that I had to address. I started to drink more water. And with drinking the more water, I noticed that my stomach is going down. Even like I said, my weight is coming down tremendously. I've always felt bloated. So I think drinking more water has significantly decreased my bloating and cutting out the sugar. So finally, the last and final thing that I did. The last and final thing that I did. Well, hold that thought. Okay, so that was my son coming home from school, after school. All right, so the last and final thing that I did was I cut down on my eating. Yes, I do not eat 3 square meals a day. That is, something that we've all been conditioned to do, but it's not something that your body necessarily needs for survival. And, my son, if he don't eat breakfast, he always say, "Oh, I'm starving, I'm starving." And I tell him, "You're not starving. Jesus didn't eat for 40 days and 40 nights, and he didn't starve. So you're not starving if you miss a meal." The same is true for me. I'm not going to die if I miss a meal. And actually, because I'm eating the right things now, which is meat, vegetables, I don't indulge in rice and pasta and potatoes anymore. Because I'm eating the right balanced diet for the things that I'm experiencing, I don't even feel hungry. So it's worked for me. It has worked for me. And I started this journey at 170. I am today 161. So the weight is slowly melting off. It was something that I struggled to even lose a pound, you know, prior to these lifestyle changes. Um, so that is great progress for me. I'm proud of myself. Um, so women, we go through things, uh, and I just hope that my story and my journey can be an inspiration to you. And put it down in the comments if you're there today, tomorrow, next week, and you come across this video. Put it in the comments if you are a woman who have experienced significant health issues once you turn 40 years old. Uh, that is all I have for now. I will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.